Assemble!
That's good for first.
High school sports are back live on Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is captain of the pronosticators. I got it out of there. Boy, this is going to be a great show.
Yes, it is.
So I got. I'm going to say K. Didn't you just pronounce your name
K.
for me?
Okay.
Just tell me your name there. So.
All right, it's Khalil Ikolona. I am captain of the prognosticators.
Yes, right.
So we take you everywhere in the football universe.
I tell you, and you're going to have your first show this week.
Yes, our first show airs Thursday at 5 o'clock here on Proview Networks. We're very excited to be taking off. This will be season 3 for us, and we've got a brand new cast member. His name is Jesse Hendricks. Lovable guy, really funny, a huge football fan, and we plan to give everybody a lot of sports entertainment this year.
I'll tell you, I'm going to call you Coach K, man.
Okay.
I just have that will make it easier on me, and
I'll take it.
And then we can just move on forward. So, how did it come up with the name?
We came up with the name Prognosticators. It started off with 2 of the other crew members. There's Benjamin Eagle and Rod the Maverick Parker. Years ago, about 8 years ago, we would sit and watch football games at his house, and we're watching the Sunday night game or afternoon games, and we just kind of got a little tired of how the color analysts and the play-by-play announcers said the same thing. We also noticed that one of them, or myself, we would make a comment, and those guys on television would say the same exact thing 4 or 5 minutes later. So we just put it on mute, and we started calling the game ourselves. And we had a lot of fun. We're very informed, and people really enjoyed it. And so one time, I think the Mav, Rod, said, my next prognostication was something about the Steelers. He's a Pittsburgh fan. I don't know why, but we all make mistakes. And the name just kind of stuck. We're the prognosticators. We say things that may happen or may not happen in the future of football.
You say this is your 3rd year, so
third season.
Be first year with Proview Network, so Channel Comcast, Channel 26.
Yes, this is our first season with you guys, and we are completely and totally excited to be here.
Give me a little background of who you are and just a little Reader's Digest of where you came from and how you got to Albuquerque.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the long short of it, I grew up just outside of Baltimore, Owings Mills, Maryland. It's where the Baltimore Ravens and formerly Baltimore Colts have their training camp and training facilities, and that's my hometown. Matter of fact, growing up, the Colts, I watched them move that famous night that they moved out of town in the middle of the night.
That's historic.
Yes.
You're in history.
I saw it.
Because you see clips of haters and and then you have the other town happy that they're coming in. And
my dad woke me up, took me down to the main road, and he said, "Look, son, watch. This is happening." My father was an executive producer for Maryland Public Television, and their station wasn't too far. It's not too far from the training station, and he caught wind that this was going to happen. He woke me up. We saw it. People were throwing tomatoes because, admit it, the Colts weren't that good. Our nickname for them was "Count on Losing This Sunday," and it was consistently losses from the Colts. As a matter of fact, in the neighborhood that I lived, they would send practice squad players to get apartments there, and my buddies and I are out there throwing the football, and then these pro athletes come up and like, "Hey, we can teach you how to throw a tight spiral. Who are you?" "I play for the Colts." "We don't want your help." And we were young kids and we didn't know. So I grew up in Owings Mills, Maryland, went to school in North Carolina, and I came out to Albuquerque originally in 1996. I know I'm dating myself, but really enjoyed the town, went out to Los Angeles to do some things, and came back. And I've been involved in television for a few years. I'm a co-host on Good Day New Mexico. I work as a correspondent for New Mexico in Focus. And I'm also one of the cast members, producer / director of the Prognosticators and a couple other projects.
You're the
I'm the captain of the ship. Yeah, I make sure we get to where we're going safely. I make all the big decisions.
I know you're doing your first show this week, and it's kind of exciting. I got a little bit of a taste of it last week, and we're kind of going through and getting the sets and everything. It's pretty exciting. And I haven't met your other crew, I guess you would say, but it's a little different. It's a sports. It's about NFL, and it's sports, and it's just basically guys that have their own view of what is going on in the NFL.
Exactly. We're sports fans.
Right.
The closest any of us have gotten to playing organized football is that I think Jesse got cut when he was a sophomore from the high school football team. But we love the game. We've been watching the game in our entire lives. And we just kind of yuck it up. We're a cast of characters. Everybody's got their own distinctive personality. We even have a fifth crew member. His name is Bartholomew Jenkins. He's from overseas. He's from the UK. But since the NFL for years has been playing games in London, he absolutely fell in love with the NFL. And he's on a quest to try to find his favorite team. He kind of hooked up with us a few years ago. So as we blast off into space and we're talking about the league, we correspond with him here back on Earth, and he lets us know what's happening here. But it's a fun show. It's just kind of about guys who love football. We're the water cooler guys. If you're ever in line at the gas station and you happen to be wearing or having some sort of paraphernalia of your favorite team, we're one of those guys who will walk by you and say, do you think you guys are going to do well this season? Oh, that was a tough break last Sunday. We'll have some quick banter and take off.
Well, I tell you, you know what? We're going to come. Oh, we're moving on. I mean,
Okay.
this is one of these days here. We're catching on to some things here. But with that being said, I hear you're pretty good at predicting the games. I mean, when you compare it to so-called the NFL analysis that have all the information that you really don't have, but that you get.
Yeah.
But they have, supposedly inside information or whatever it is. But I hear that y'all are pretty much right on.
We're right on. We're better than the pros, as they say. Our tag is we're only sometimes right because sometimes we are.
Are you on the win-loss or even against the spread? Do you do the spread too?
We don't. A couple guys do the spread. We don't do the spread. Every time I try to do the spread, I'm off. So I just do general win-loss, me personally.
Right.
I guess it's like an anti-gambling gene that I have. But we're pretty good win-loss. We do very, very well. I took 2 seasons ago, I compared us. We beat out Fox and we beat out the ESPN guys.
How about, did you have Philadelphia win the Super Bowl?
I did not have Philadelphia winning the Super Bowl last year, but Ben had Philadelphia losing in the conference championship game in our preseason predictions. So that
kind of threw the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is one of those teams that just, was destined to win and had their own, it's like me against the rest of the world type attitude. And
they really did pull it together. And I think also with last year Philadelphia winning the Super Bowl, Philly took the lesson that I think the Giants showed people years ago that Atlanta only did for 3 quarters. When you play the Patriots and you have a chance to put your foot on their throat, that's what you do. If you give him a chance, look, Tom Brady is the GOAT because he is the guy of 4th quarter comebacks. But if you get Tom Brady down, you have to keep him down because the guy will find a way to give himself and his team a chance to maybe win it in the end. Atlanta, a few years ago, had him, but then they got conservative. We have a lead and we'll stick it out. We even saw in the conference championship last season, the Jaguars had them, but they eased off at the end thinking they could hold it. Philadelphia kept punching them in the face. That's what you have to do to beat them.
Well, I tell you, I just got you set up on what kind of show it's going to be. And,
oh, yeah.
And you're bringing memories back to, over the last 2 years. And that Tom Brady in Atlanta was, I just remember I was in Vegas and people left at halftime. Man, they already had won. You know, they had already spent their money on it. Wow. I mean, they had these Super Bowl parties and things like that, and they were completely gone, and a lot of people turned the channel off, and was just talking. And then that's just the legacy of Tom Brady. I mean, it's amazing what. Even today, I mean, the other day they were just talking about, this is his last year. He's over with, and then they had people talking about, well, they lost the Super Bowl last year. That's why he's going downhill. Well, not too many quarterbacks get to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. No one's gotten to the Super Bowl as many times as he has.
Right.
And the thing about Tom Brady is, he's 40 years old, but the guy does special space things to take care of his body, I assume. But he's playing well. As with any quarterback, if he takes that one hit, he'll be done. That's any player in the NFL. You get the wrong hit at the wrong time, that's going to sit you down. But you can't really sleep on Tom Brady. And people love to hate Tom Brady. Let's admit it. But a lot of people do. Unless you're a New England fan, a lot of people love to hate Tom Brady. But it's not as if Tom Brady was the #1 overall pick. He was 199th. Those guys aren't even expected to make the team. So I respect what he has done. He came in as a guy. Look, when he was at the University of Michigan, they weren't even willing to give him the starting spot. They kept giving it to Drew Henson. I was hearing all this stuff. Drew Henson is baseball player, football player, baseball player, football player. He seemed mediocre at Michigan. Tom Brady was the one who was actually winning games for them. They get to the NFL, and we see what happened. Drew Henson flames out with the Cowboys real fast, and Tom Brady, 5 Super Bowls.
Well, Kay, we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about the prognosticators.
Yes.
There we go, prognosticators. I'm going to practice on that at break time, but we'll come back and talk more about your show.
Okay.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We've got Khalil Akuluna.
Akulona, that's closer.
Akuluna.
Man, you're getting there, Steve.
All right, captain of
Yes.
prognosticators.
Yes, awesome.
All right. You might make me famous someday. That'd be awesome.
Okay, I'll try.
That's a hard thing for you to do. But anyway, Kay, you have so much enthusiasm. It was fun. We're sitting here talking, and it's neat to, see. One, you're in Albuquerque. One, you're with Proview Networks, trying to help. We're putting a team together to really, our goal is really not to make this just a Channel 26. We're trying to make this like a national, big-time show, and it's exciting that you have the insight with what we're working with to see if we can get that done.
I love it. What you all have been doing here for the past few years at Proview is really special. You're taking and highlighting not just high school sports, but all the sports that take place in New Mexico. A lot of people tend to look over New Mexico. They stop every once in a while to talk about, rest in peace, Johnny Tapia. They talk about Brian Urlacher or Bregman and some of the superstars that come out of the state. But you guys focus in and say, hey, there's a lot of talent in this state. There's a lot happening. Most people think New Mexico, you need a passport to come here.
You know what? That's very true. I mean, and listen to this. This is back when the Olympics were in LA. When I had some friends, they called in to get tickets to go to the Coliseum and watch the Olympics. And when they called in, they said, well, you need to talk to your ambassador. We're in the United States, and here we are, we're 2 states removed from being at the, and that's what the respect from them. And a lot of people back east still don't know. They don't know where New Mexico is. They still think New Mexico still is Mexico. And, but that's the passion that was born and raised in New Mexican, and there's been a lot of great athletes, and we have a lot of great athletes and a lot of great coaches and administrators in this state that I'll put against anybody in any other state in the country. So.
I agree, and people don't think, lately we've had, like I said, Urlacher, we've had Holly Holm, we've had a few people, but they need to know that a lot of great things are happening here, and what you all have been doing to expose that and creating this network is just very exciting, and we're super happy at the Prognosticators to be on board. We're getting the pylon built up, our super spaceship that'll take us everywhere in the football universe. We're going to be, we're getting in, doing the finishing touches for our preseason super spectacular show, and we're ready to take off until the
try to articulate how this show is envisioned without, because you're in a spaceship and the whole thing. Because I even saw part of what you did. I'm still curious to how it all works out.
Well, every year around this time of year, we say goodbye to our families and our loved ones, our friends and colleagues, and we get into this fantastic ship called the Pylon. And this Pylon takes us into the football universe. And there we get all the information and we break down what we find in the football universe to you all. We don't really come back until after the Super Bowl. So it's a few-month journey, and a couple of the guys are married with kids, so it's really tough on them. Their families make a great sacrifice for us to go off and to do nothing but consume and talk about football the entire time. We have a supercomputer. Her name is the Sorceress. She kind of keeps all the life support systems and navigation tight on the ship, but she also keeps us in check, just in case one of us gets one of our sources or facts wrong, because we do a lot of boasting about facts and stats and things like that, when it helps one's argument. So it's a really fun show. If people
so it keeps everybody in check,
She keeps us all in check.
Yeah.
Yeah, she makes sure that we're on tight. And so if people, If you love football and you love to laugh, this is the show for you.
You know, just talking about what you're saying is, you know, I got some friends and things that I go to lunch with, and they're all talking, and like you say, everybody, you know, kind of, and now you have that phone, and you can just you can Google something and say, wait a second, that ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what your computer's about.
Oh yeah, the sorceress keeps us there because sometimes, you know, we're off. She also helps us navigate because we're out there in the football universe. And we get hungry. So she knows the direct course, the easiest way, no matter where we're at in the football universe, to get us to Planet Cheesesteak so we can stop and get some food and stuff. So we loved it. We'll go to Planet Cowboys. We'll go to Planet Eagles. We'll go to Planet Arizona Cardinals. We'll go all over to all the different football planets and see what's happening.
And then you'll insert steals or something like that for if you're at the Cardinals, have players in and things like that.
Oh yeah. And this season we're stepping it up through to some friends and some connections. We plan to have some personalities, maybe even a player or two, come on the show. At least do phone calls with us and talk to them. So we're kind of stepping up everything. Once again, you guys at Proview have helped us out in building a brand new pylon. So this new ship is going to have some technical capabilities that we haven't had before.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, and I want to thank you for, you know, coming and talking to me, you know, and calling me that day. And I thought, well, because I kind of talked to you about a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I said, look, you know, we have a sports, you know, we're trying to do the sports day. I think it'd be something neat to have different than high school sports, little NFL, that people were as passionate as we are about high school and all the pro sports that we do in Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. And it's really, it's kind of like contagious. You know, you were talking earlier about your high school, about being a team. I mean, this is like a team with energy. When you walk in, you bring energy, and it seems like my guys and everybody's like, all right, let's see what we can get it done. And there is no real yes and no to the you're the captain, you make the final decision, but it's, you take the input of everybody and ideas that anybody suggests to you.
Yeah, that's how it all happens. Everybody coming together to work. And, you know, there's a lot happening in New Mexico, and Albuquerque specific. Albuquerque in 5 years is not going to be the same town that we know now. Albuquerque, in my opinion, I think Albuquerque...
So you're prognosticating?
I'm prognosticating
right now.
I'm prognosticating that Albuquerque is going to be different. I know that they're trying to get a few professional soccer teams in the town, which I think could work. This is a nice soccer town.
It's going to happen. They did that.
They're getting it up. I think Albuquerque could support a professional basketball team as well. If Oklahoma City could, Albuquerque definitely could. That's been my view. I've actually done a couple numbers and some research on it, and I think it can. Albuquerque's kind of in the same position Oklahoma City was before the then Seahawks, now Thunder, came and moved there. So if the NBA ever wants to expand, we'll bring it in. Matter of fact, a couple weeks ago for one of my other shows, I interviewed Ice Cube, the entertainment rapper who also is a part of the Big Three, his 3-on-3 basketball league with former professionals. They're talking about possibly bringing a Big Three night to Albuquerque. That'll be huge for this town.
What kind of input do you want from the public? I mean, on this. I mean, how can they get a hold of you, and how can they talk to you? And
they can talk to us anyway through social media on Twitter and Facebook. Our handle is at the Progs NFL, at THEPROGS NFL. They can call us out. They can celebrate us. Well, however they want to interact with us, they can do that, or they can email us.
And you enjoy interacting back.
Oh, yeah, we definitely enjoy going back and forth with the fans because, once again, this is a fan-driven show. Not one of us is going to be wearing a suit. None of us is a former player, a former analyst, a former executive. None of us are lifetime play-by-play people or professionals. We're strictly fans. This is informed fan talk, but fan talk nonetheless. So the more fans get involved, we've loved it. We're even developing, and we'll debut these throughout the season, we're developing a few contests. Hey, the fan who's got the best take or the best prognostication possibly call in, or maybe they can show up and we'll beam them up to the ship so they can enjoy and see what it's all about with us.
And you can watch this every Thursday, correct?
Thursday.
At 5 o'clock,
Yep.
and more. We'll have more airs through the week, and people will be watching what you're doing, and then it'll be on Facebook. And we're not quite live yet, but that's our goal with that, is to have it live here in 3 or 4 weeks, and that way we can get it to more eyeballs at the time. But we still will put it on YouTube and air it too. But that's it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of cool things in store, and we all have made the prognostication that we think this is going to be the best year for the NFL that we've seen in quite some time. Because we have to admit, the past few years, the product of the NFL, the play of the NFL, has slowly gotten better. Started off slowly. We think this year, with all the free agency turnaround, the draft class that just came in, certain players nearing the end, and now with these trades, look, the Raiders just traded Khalil Mack to the Bears. So that takes the Raiders down a step and a half and lifts the Bears up a step and a half. The Bears are predicted, I think in the predictive analytics model, they predicted the Bears will have 1.5 more wins just because of that trade. That changes a lot of things in the game. It's going to be fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, our time has come to an end, and I want to thank you for coming on, and we're excited to have you on Proview and on Channel 26 on Thursdays at 5 o'clock, and we're going to be watching all your moves for the next 12 weeks. I got almost till January, February, right?
Till February, yeah, second week of February. After that, we're going to be done. We're going to go on hiatus. We're going to come back and relax. But once again, I want to thank you so much for having me on the show, and thanks so much for having us on Proview Networks. We're really excited.
I tell you what, we're going to go to the top 10 plays of the week, and thank you for coming on.
All right.
Summers still going as he breaks another tackle in the 5 all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Punched up. He's looking to throw. Throws it in the end zone. Ball is caught. Touchdown.
Davison, nice move by Davis, 35, 30, got a block, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Nice. Jeff Davison, 45-yard touchdown run, and he started it with the fake salute.
Oh man, this beat is crazy.
Back to Davison's right, Lewis again up the middle, scoring through, big hole, 20, 25, 15, 5, touchdown. Dorian Lewis, 40-yard touchdown run.
Right now you have 3 senior quarterbacks. Up the middle. There goes Rotten to the end zone. This time no flags. Touchdown Rio Rancho. In between offensive series, entire quarter.
Look out. A kickoff back the other way. And look at this. A quick strike by Johnny Terrazas, the junior.
Strikes back behind us. I'm wondering how close those are getting.
Ew, don't need any more of those. On the return is Kyle. Kyle's in the open, and look out. He's got some room. Kyle's to the 30, breaks it back inside to the 10, and touchdown as he dives for the end zone.
Inbounds, got a block, shot out of a cannon, and he's gone.
There's your answer.
Touchdown, and Gabe Smith takes. Here's Gabe Smith, the cut the other way. Look out, Gabe Smith to the near side. He's got the first down and a lot more. A foot race down the sideline across the 30. Gabe Smith gonna take it all the way. Touchdown.